Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Podcast Room 303, episode 206. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us the EPE. On today's episode, we'll be getting into the head-to-head review, as always. What the fuck headline of the week. And we'll be doing an MLB Midseason review, and we'll be revealing something special that Nick has been working on for quite some time. How are you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm good, man. I didn't appreciate the bagging on last week's episode. You know, I worked so hard, and I think I should be entitled to a week or two off there. And you guys have been driving me like honestly, you've been driving me like a word redacted. And I don't want this podcast to get canceled, so I'm not going to say the word. But you've been driving me pretty hard, and I think that I can take a week off. I don't think that's something to be punished.
Shocker, a white man's entitled.
Yeah, I felt very attacked. I figured I'd rig the election to make a white man president.
I did that because I was like, let's see if Nick actually listens to this. Because if you did.
And again, I know it's easy for like people listening to the podcast to like scream and to be like, oh my God, how'd they miss this? Guys, the bringing stuff to a party.
Okay.
It seemed, I mean, like you guys got there eventually.
All right.
Like, it took a while.
Yeah, it's not an easy topic because I usually don't bring anything.
You should just said yourself then.
I did. But what is the easy choice? You're just gonna sit there and not say anything now?
No, I mean you guys hit them all eventually.
Oh, so you came here with no additional things to point.
No, why would I have additional?
This motherfucker.
It just proves how hard it was.
This dude comes in and says he wants.
I don't remember. It was like a couple of days ago. I listened to this damn thing.
Classic. Shows up, says we missed an easy one. Doesn't remember the easy one that we missed. How you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. Got to see the rentals over the weekend. Mine, yours. It's always good to be around family, so spirits are up. But yeah, man, it was a good weekend, great weekend.
There was some tears in the kingdom for sure. All right, so let's start with everyone's new favorite segment for the show. What the fuck headline of the week? It's only been around for a few episodes. I seem to be the only one contributing articles. One of these days, Nick and Eric will send something very hysterical. But
I don't know where you get these articles from.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I just see normal ones, and somehow every week you're sending the wildest shit I've ever read.
All right, maybe you and I generally get the same Bleacher Report updates. That's normally where like you get your crazy soccer headlines from. But I don't know where you're getting these other fucking headlines. I don't know, like even before the show, I even looked up like what the fuck headlines, sports. It's like crazy sports headlines of the week. Like I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe there's a weird synergy in my life that I gravitate towards very, very strange headlines. But
You got it figured out.
Yeah, Eric, are you sharing it or?
Yeah. I was just waiting for.
Oh, okay. I was
man,
waiting on you. Oh yeah, dude. CBS is aggressive with their articles. That's how with their ads. That's how they keep it free though. So I'm not really gonna complain too much. But over the last week, I have discovered that there is something called the Homeless World Cup. Did you guys know that this was a thing?
No.
Okay.
It's in California, right?
This year it's in Sacramento.
I'm not surprised. Yeah,
Fittingly so.
It's in Sacramento. It's because we can field as many teams as we need just from California. But it's a World Cup, so that means they bring in other countries' homeless people to play at these events. So rather than give these individuals housing or food, we'd rather fly them to Sacramento. And as Eric has conveniently highlighted for those watching on YouTube, this is a global gathering, 500 athletes, 40 countries.
Oh,
And it's actually kind of interesting how they set it up. So it's 3v3 on a 22-foot long field. If you're watching on YouTube, you can read the article yourself. And they're 7-minute halves. So it's actually kind of cool. Like, and then actually seeing the score, right? So there was a game that happened between USA and Indonesia. It was 8-2. I was like, dang, you scored 8 goals in 14 minutes. Just like, he was really like, the other team must not have been trying. It's not like they had to run very far. So
it's not like they have a home to go back to either. And Eric started laughing before, like the joke was there on the platter.
bro. Also, the first thing that I thought about when I saw this was like, we know Russia has a bad history with drug testing at the Olympics and the World Cup. I wonder how many dudes are going to fail to drug test for this tournament, or are they
can't
even
drug test them? They're homeless. What would you put on the banned substance list? Everything?
Dude, they're already going to fail. Like, the minute you mention drug tests, like, dog, it's not going to happen at all. This is what I want to ask you boys. So you can go ahead and stop sharing, Eric. Appreciate that. But is this something that Room 303 would look to sponsor?
Only if I get bet on it.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Bro, Room 303 presents the Homeless World Cup.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, I couldn't resist. This was too good not to share. Usually I try not to share the article that I'm going to submit, so that way you guys are surprised. But I've looked at this and was just blown away. And then nobody made any comments when I shared in the group chat. So I was like, oh, everyone must know about this.
So I did, but it got lost in Eric's text messages right after that. I said, how do they prove that they're homeless? Do you just show up with a backpack and you're like, well, no home? Like, you have to take requisite items out of your backpack? Like, just show you don't have a home? You have to show us lack of bills.
You have to show them your address to prove lack of home. Eric, can you look up how many years the Homeless World Cup has been going?
That's what I'm looking up, how long it's been going, and I'm looking up to see what these people actually get. Like, there got to be something in it for people to do this.
Drugs. Food.
Bro, they got to pay them, right?
Oh, they don't have to. Dude, they barely even pay professional athletes. They try to not pay professional athletes millions of dollars. You think they're going to pay homeless people?
Dude, did you just say they barely pay professional athletes?
I meant they try to not pay
professional
athletes.
I was going to say Fred VanVleet just got $43 million a year. He was the least efficient scorer in the NBA last year.
That man's a world champion.
He is a world champion. You are correct.
So just to give you a little bit of a rundown here, started in 2001. The only year they missed was obviously 2020 during the pandemic. Current champions, Mexico. Most champions, Mexico.
That's great.
All right. Player eligibility must be 16. Can't be part of the previous Homeless World Cup tournaments. Must have been homeless within the last 6 months or seeking asylum. Currently be in drug or alcohol rehabilitation program at some point in the past 2 years.
Oh, they have to be.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
do drug test.
You do drugs and you get into the Soccer World Cup.
4 players per team, 3 outfielders, 1 goalkeeper, and then 4 players max on the court, 3 outfielders, 1 goalkeeper, and then you have 4 substitutions in the game. And it's like hockey where it's a rolling substitution.
This actually sounds very exciting.
Oh man, there's a lot of info on this. But yeah, pretty much Mexico and it's basically a lot of Southern American countries that have been winning this.
That's the asylum part that they latch onto. Ain't no way that the U.S. is losing the true homeless World Cup.
No, we lost in 2008 to Zambia, 7-1.
USA's never won.
Let me see. Let me look through real quick.
That's how much we don't care about soccer.
That's how much we don't care about our homeless. They can't even win the homeless World Cup.
Oh, correction.
Bums.
Correction. Best finish the U.S. has had at this tournament is 9th.
Just typical U.S. We're not even top 10. We're barely even top 10 in the world.
God, our homeless people can't even do that right, bro.
This is why they don't get treatment.
Insane. All right, I think we spent enough time on this homeless World Cup. I just wanted to bring it up and get your guys' thoughts on that. Let's go ahead and get into pop culture pick'em. I didn't say this at the beginning, but today's topic is top 5 moments in movies that killed a movie or were incredibly unnecessary. That last part, you could just say any nudity in any movie. Yeah. But today's order is going to be Eric, Nick, myself. And hopefully they don't take the ones that I bitched about, but let's see. Eric, kick it off.
So to start this off, I was like racking my brain. This actually was harder than I thought it was going to be. But I'm going to go with like a timeless classic, probably one of the first movies I ever loved. I was in love with Kate Winslet. I'm going to go bitch ass Rose letting Jack die at the end of the movie.
Bro, what a solid fucking choice. I didn't even think of that, dude. Bitch ass Rose.
That whole whatever, dude. We're not going to get into it, but he could have survived.
The door was big enough for 2 people.
Right.
Yeah. Mythbusters has proven that it can take 2 people.
And body warmth would have kept him alive longer had somebody not been showing up right away.
They should have taken off their clothes like they did in the back of the Model A. I agree with you, Eric. I'm going to go with my most ludicrous moment. And I love these movies, and I'm very excited. I need to still go see the 5th one. But I love this franchise, right? It's Indiana Jones. The scene that I'm referring to is in Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Dr. Jones survives a nuclear explosion by hiding in a, quote, lead-lined fridge, end quote. I mean, what?
That movie, dude.
You said a lead-lined fridge is how he survived a nuclear explosion.
Yes, yeah.
Heard. Jermaine, that's the next expense for the apartment.
Oh, yeah?
Eric, and I mean this as your friend. Can you fit into a 1950s fridge?
Hey, dude, I've been hitting the gym. I'm slimming down, baby.
Okay, slimming down. Can you fit in a 1950s fridge?
Probably not still, but I'll get there.
He can. He's only 5'8", Nick.
All right.
We're getting into this now.
Fridges are built for short people.
Okay. Should have known that was going to come back to bite me in the ass one day.
Okay, so for those of you who are not intimate in our text messages and in our text message group, Eric thinks that the world is designed for tall people. And actually, it is short phobic. Would you describe it as that, Eric? Actually, we'll turn to Jermaine. Jermaine, Eric described it as short phobic.
Yeah.
And tall philic.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Short people have it incredibly hard in the world.
I would like to be able to explain myself here.
You would like to be able to caveat.
Yes.
I'm not caveating. This is actually, I wasn't thinking of like buses and cars and planes and stuff like that, which all makes perfect sense. They definitely cater to shorter people because they want to stuff as many people as they can in there.
Doorways.
I was talking about like, you know, like the respect you get and girls and promotions at jobs and shit. Like, I got to work twice as hard than you, tall motherfucker.
No, you do not, you lying ass bitch. You can't even say it with a straight face. That's so funny, man. Oh, man. You really, like, I could not believe that you were serious when you said that.
I've softened my stance since I've had that conversation.
What are you taking a stronger stance on? Will Smith is a bad actor, or the world is built for tall people?
No, I'm gonna say Will Smith because I realize the world is not
ridiculous.
Built for tall people.
Both takes are ridiculous, but it's
fact,
Jermaine's pick. Jermaine, back to you. Enough of this from Eric. I don't want to hear this short person talk anymore, Jermaine. My fellow tall friend, the floor is yours.
The 3.9% in America have spoken, Eric. All right, dude. So if you guys know me, there's so many different things that I bitch about when it comes to nerd movies, right? Because I grew up reading the comics. I grew up playing the games, the characters. I own the action figures. Like, I was super in it, right? So number one has to be the Martha scene in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, shit. I should have taken that one first. That would have pissed you off.
That would have sent me because you guys have heard me bitch about that scene. So, like, it's the laziest piece of writing I've ever seen in my life.
You said Martha scene? Did I get that right?
Martha.
Yeah. So
do you not know what scene we're talking about, Eric?
I've given up on DC for a long time, so I didn't actually watch Superman versus Batman, or whichever way it is.
Oh, this was at the beginning of DC. This was before you should have given up on them. This is what made me give up on DC.
Yeah. So they did Man of Steel, which was awesome. He snapped Zod's neck in that movie, which maybe you could say the symbol for hope and compassion probably should have snapped somebody's neck. That's another topic to discuss. But so what happens is Batman is fighting Superman, and Batman gets the advantage because he has kryptonite.
And it's a great fight scene, by the way.
I was a little too short, but the stuff they did in it was fun. And they have Superman's mom, so Batman's mom is named Martha. Superman's mom is named Martha. And they have Superman's mom under lock and key, and that's where he was going to get them from, like, armed thugs. And he says, because Batman's about to kill him, and he says Martha. And Batman just stops what he's doing. He's like, "What'd you say?
How do you know that name? How do you know that name?
How do you know that name?" And so I was like blown away that was like, and that's what got Batman to stop. And then Batman goes on to have another awesome fight scene. There are some dope fight scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
It's just the writing ruined it.
They're like fighting, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit, your mom's the same name? Dope. Let's go fight this bad guy." It's like, what?
Yeah, dude.
The world's greatest detective didn't know Superman's mom's name was Martha.
Thank you. Also, if I'm dying and my mom is in danger, I'm not going to say Martha. Aren't you going to say mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't refer to my mom on a first name basis.
Or say, "I'm sorry, Mom."
something. But he said Martha. And then, so that's from Batman versus Superman. We'll go more recent here, and I'll let you guys have that one. I'm going to go with Joseph Gordon-Levitt finds the fucking Batcave in The Dark Knight Rises. People try to tell me all the time that The Dark Knight Rises is a good movie. It fucking sucks. It's not a good movie. It's a cop-out. Christian Bale showing up in the French cafe. Talia al Ghul's death. Bane's death. I mean, the whole movie sucked. It was bad. It was a bad fucking movie, and I had to sit here and listen to people tell me that it's good. And so the world's greatest detective just doesn't know how to hide the Batcave.
No, it's behind a waterfall.
Bro, the whole thing was dumb as fuck. I was so annoyed with that whole fucking thing. So those are my first two choices, and they are both DC.
All right, so my second pick, I'm going to go I Am Legend. I'm going to go Will Smith's death in the end. Right?
Don't they have another ending that
They
gets rid
do
of that,
have
though?
a scene, but that's not the one that you see. That's not the one that you see. You see him just die, and then it's the mom and the kid going to Vermont or wherever they went. Right? He spends the whole movie with the goal, loses his family, spends years, 5 years, I think it is, trying to find a cure. Just to be like, oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. And the funny thing is that in the book, they completely, like, they followed the book pretty well until the end when they're like, nah, let's just have this happen.
Bro, and it's like, he could have fit in that room with them. Just pull the pin, throw it, and jump in the room. Like, it's not logical for him to die. It ruins the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't tell.
So I know that there's an alternate ending and he's alive, and they're making a second part, right?
Yeah. But apparently the second one won't even address that part.
Okay. I haven't really seen I Am Legend like in its entirety. I've seen like bits and pieces of it because I'm pretty sure it was at the movie theater when I worked there, and I would just pop in, see a little bit, and then dip out. But Eric, what's your next two picks?
So for my next two picks, I'm gonna go Saving Private Ryan. There's a scene, and I think the reason it stuck with me is because my dad just like he can't get over this scene. But the dude gets hit in the helmet, and then he takes his helmet off and doesn't get down or anything, and then gets shot 5 seconds after in the head. And that scene just ruins the whole. It's just so dumb.
Okay, hold on. I want to be sure with what you're saying. Are you saying that scene ruins the entire Saving Private Ryan movie?
Okay, I can't say it ruins the entire Saving Private Ryan because it is a good movie. But it's a retard. Like, it just felt so dumb. Like,
so I get that your father, right? And I've never met Papa Wash, but thank him for his service. And he was in war when war was especially nasty, right? I believe he was in Vietnam, right? Not saying anything about Vietnam or Papa Wash's service, right? Let me make that clear right now.
Yeah.
However, there is a noted story of Saving Private Ryan. They thought the best idea to preview Saving Private Ryan, the first showing of Saving Private Ryan, they brought in a bunch of old World War II veterans. And they showed it to a theater of them. And they had to turn it off after that first part because they all had mental breakdowns.
Ooh.
So I don't think that they were like, oh, he wouldn't do that. I think they were like, oh my God, I saw a dude do that.
Ugh. Well, I mean, I get that, but just like to me, like for me, logically, like if you get hit in the helmet with a bullet, the first thing you should do is not take your helmet off and stick your head up. Like, you know what I mean? It just felt out of place. But I get it. That was just a personal pick for me. And then I'm gonna go Pulp Fiction. Jimmy's racist rant. It was out of pocket. It didn't need to be in the movie. It made no sense. And we've come to learn that Tarantino just does this every other movie so he can use slurs on television without getting in trouble. But it doesn't fit into anything else in the movie. It's just him going on a racist rant because he wants to go on a racist rant in the movie. And it's my favorite movie of all time. But I hate that scene.
I also don't I don't ever think the diner scene in that movie is not necessary.
Which diner scene? The one at the end?
In Pulp Fiction, yeah, the one with Uma Thurman.
Oh, no, the one with Uma Thurman's, yeah, no.
No, I'm here. You were talking and then you just stopped. So
sorry.
All right. I will. I'm gonna go. My third pick. I'm gonna go Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the boat tunnel scene.
Charlie is the one with Johnny Depp, right?
No. What? Oh, sorry. Willy Wonka. The Willy Wonka boat tunnel scene. That's the one that I want to focus on.
Okay.
It's just I get it that you have throughout the movie you have subliminal messaging and all this, but that's just what it is. It's just subliminal messaging. The boat tunnel scene just seems unnecessary, and it's weird, and it does not move the plot along at all. Like, you're trying to establish a character in Willy Wonka who's running this chocolate factory, and yeah, maybe he's a little sadistic with the way he gives stuff away, but the tunnel scene makes no sense, and it just seems like an acid trip for no reason.
Okay. I mean, I don't really have I think Willy Wonka is not that good of a movie. So, I didn't know. I don't understand. I guess you had to be in the era that it came out, but I don't understand why people hype it up so much.
I mean, I wasn't really in the era that it came out.
Did you like Willy Wonka?
Yeah, I didn't. I don't dislike it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just the asshole then. I just remember watching it and being like, nah. I was like, next. So it's back to me. Some of my choices are still on the board, which is fantastic. We're going to go with Princess Leia space flying in The Last Jedi. I mean, what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
They never really show her train in the Force, get any powerful in the Force. On top of that, they're not following anything from the book, so it's all brand new. Yeah, it really didn't make any sense. And she was out there for so long, and her eyes just open. And all of a sudden she flies with a finger out. The worst fucking pose I've ever seen. I could not believe what I was watching when that happened.
So
right, Jermaine, but did you consider vibes? Is that something you considered? Maybe the Force, you idiot? Some dormant midichlorians, perhaps?
Sure.
God. It's like having to talk to a child.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that one. So this one is going to be a twofer, right? It's going to be Deadpool 2, and it's going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine. And it's the one with they literally zipped Ryan Reynolds' mouth shut. And then in Deadpool 2, they kill X-Force by jumping off a plane.
Oh. Yeah.
It's that's a covert ops hit squad. X-Force is. They're that's what they are for the X-Men. They're the SEALs to the X-Men's, regular sailors. And you're going to tell me they don't know how to jump out of a fucking plane? All of them just get killed? And it was funny. No, it wasn't. It wasn't funny. It wasn't. In fact, and then the rest of the movie sucked from there. So I was like, how are you just going to introduce Shatterstar and kill him like that?
Brad Pitt was there.
Yeah, whatever. That movie sucked. Both those movies sucked.
Let's see. My fourth movie after Jermaine. X-Men Origins starts off so great.
It does. It really does. It started
with
strong.
all the scenes of them all, Sabretooth and Wolverine going through all the battles. And it just gets worse from there.
Just over.
It is over. You could just watch that first part and be and quit. It's like the first 15 minutes of Full Metal Jacket. Don't watch anymore.
It's like the opening scene to the Halo TV show.
Just well, and the one where he takes the ghost. But if you can watch that 5, well, I guess it's really like 30 minutes of the fight scenes in Halo, you have a decent episode.
Wait, Nick, you
Bro.
only like the first 15 minutes of Full Metal Jacket? Or do you mean like the first scene when they're in boot and then after that?
Yeah, I just mean just watch. I guess it's probably like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Just watch the first 30 minutes of Full Metal Jacket and then cut it off.
I've never seen that movie.
It just becomes an anti-war film after that.
It really does. It starts off with them in boot and everything, and it's crazy. Some crazy shit happens, and then it just goes super left.
The Vincent,
film, right?
Yeah, it's a Kubrick film, I think.
Okay.
Vincent D'Onofrio is in that movie, right?
Yeah.
That's Pyle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that's Kingpin. I've never seen Full Metal Jacket, so it's not surprising that an anti-war film came out at that time, though. So
no. If you took the first 15 minutes or the boot camp scenes of Full Metal Jacket and combined it with Platoon, it would be the ultimate war movie. It would be the best Vietnam War movie. Well, I don't know. We Were Soldiers still exists.
We Were Soldiers is banging, bro. I think pretty sure Eric had already seen it, but we actually watched that movie again recently.
What a great movie.
Or you hadn't seen that one, Eric?
I had not seen We Were Soldiers.
What a great movie, dude. And Hal Morris is a fucking legend.
that movie was fucking awesome. I don't know how I missed it. But I think what happened was I always got it confused with that HBO show, Band of Brothers, for some reason. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, my brain.
Jermaine, did you see? I was like, ow! Ow!
It's just
shot in the heart.
I don't know why, but it just like my brain always just confused those two for some reason. But now that I've seen We Were Soldiers, it is a great freaking movie, and I can differentiate them now.
Oh, dude,
that's like you said the equivalent to me of like I just confused Generation Kill with Black Hawk Down. Like those are not the same.
Yeah,
the same thing.
Both fire though.
Both fire. Yeah.
What was your pick here, Nick?
Oh, I didn't. We hadn't talked about it.
Okay, I was like, we had one convo, and I'm like, somewhere in there you put it in there, and I missed it.
Eric, this isn't a professor. I'm not going to ask you for a quiz.
We were just ranting because X-Men Origins triggered Nick.
Yeah. My fourth pick, I'm going to go with the return of Emperor Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. Not only is it, if you're going to do it, because I understand there is some I never know how to say this word, relating to canon.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are books that don't relate to canon that talk about the inner years.
They call them legends.
Right. Star Wars Legends that talks about Luke trying to hunt down and destroy the clones of Palpatine. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why Luke goes a little bit to the dark side, at least in the Legends series. So if you were going to do that, one, explain how Palpatine got here in the movie. That's one. And if you're not going to do that, well, now you've completely ruined Darth Vader's redemption arc. And Darth Vader's arc is one of the best in movies.
Mm-hmm. So Eric used to hate Star Wars. He's come around on it.
So the return of Palpatine to me was like, I mean, again, Jermaine has tried to convince me, or not tried to convince me, but Jermaine has had to listen to me rant up and down about how fucking awful 7, 8, and 9 were. I fell asleep in 7. I watched half of 8, and I didn't even see 9.
8 had a lot of cool shit, but for the most part, it was just really bad.
There's my pick.
When Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting in the throne room against Grand Admiral Thrawn's Praetorian elites.
That's a good fight scene.
Oh wait, not Grand Admiral Thrawn. Sorry,
Emperor
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Oh, Supreme Leader Snoke.
Snoke. Snoke.
I think I can help in this pan discussion.
All right, Eric. Let's go ahead and get into your final two. We don't need to talk about the third trilogy of Star Wars.
So with my last,
that's for our sister podcast, Revenge of the Pod. Tune in.
Nice
Hey,
plug.
nice plug.
Nice plug. I'm gonna go Blade Trinity. They just killed Whistler early on in the movie after bringing him back. After he died in the first one, they brought him back, and then they just kill him in the first one for like literally absolutely no reason. So it just, I don't know. That third one was the worst one out of all them, anyways. But
The third one was fun still.
Yeah, I haven't seen Blade Trinity in a while, but it just kind of seems like early 2000s fun.
Bro, so I'm not disagreeing with Eric's pick, but I still had a lot of fun with it. Triple H is in that movie.
Oh, Triple H is in that movie.
Jessica Biel is in that movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And she's killing vampires, bro. I was like, sexy vampire killer, give me that. And then Ryan Reynolds is in that movie.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is in that movie, yeah.
And then for my fifth pick, probably the only horror franchise I like. I don't like horror movies, but I can sit through the Scream ones. But for me, when they killed Randy's character in the second Scream, it made no sense. He was one of the best characters in the movie, in the franchise. He was like a horror film freak, and he knew all the rules to survive, and he broke all of his own rules, and he dies. It was so stupid. He should have made it through all of that. But they'll keep fucking David Arquette's fucking character around forever.
What? Hey, don't you talk about ill of that man. He was the best character in the Scream series, not fucking Randy.
Randy was definitely the best character. He's funny.
He was not. It was David Arquette, bro.
Nah, you tripping, blood.
You tripping, blood. Also, that was the whole point of his death. The whole point was it's not like everything else. That was what that death made the Scream franchise. No, that's why when I see people talk about this, I'm like, look, I get that you fucked with Randy heavy, but that was the point of the death. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, they didn't do anything unexpected. He died breaking his own rules.
It's impossible to think straight when you're in that shit. That's what's so funny. Everyone will tell you, "Oh, I wouldn't do that if you were in a high pressured situation." But until you're in that situation, you have no fucking clue what you're actually going to do. Hopefully you don't turn into a sissy in the moment. You know what I mean? Like that imagine just melting. First time I ever got hit in the face. I didn't respond. Well, that's not the first time, but I was hit unexpectedly.
Sometimes it's like
I was like, did I just get hit? It didn't even hurt. Fucking pussy. All right, Nick, what's your last pick?
Sometimes you don't have it that day. I'm going to go Captain America Civil War. It's kind of like a common thread throughout the movie, but the one scene where Captain kisses Sharon Carter, it just completely invalidates Captain America and this guy that stands for fucking, like, he has this, like, Peggy is his love, and he's trying to get back to her, as evidenced by Endgame. And he doesn't ever want to come back, even after completing his mission. It doesn't make sense for him to kiss her and have this stupid little relationship with her.
I don't think he was trying to get back. But
well, yeah, he is at the end, right?
At the end, the opportunity presents itself, but not everything he did was to get back.
Right,
but he accepted that. I get that. I'm just saying.
It's okay. Well, then not to go down that route. It's kind of weird to kiss your love.
I'll allow that. The choice is good. I was like, that was weird, but they did hook up in the comics, so
comics are weird.
Oh, okay. Fuck you then. How about that?
Are comics not weird?
No, they're fantastic. There's nothing wrong with comic books.
Old Man Logan is a weird ass storyline.
No. Dude, I can't believe I still have all my choices here. I'll go with some honorable mentions first before I pick my last one. Jennifer Connelly, any Jennifer Connelly scene in Top Gun Maverick.
That's the one that I would have read. That when you talked about pre-show about how Eric's strategy is, that would have been. I thought about that one. I was like, I can't use that one because then I'm going to prove him right. So I had to take that off my list.
Yeah, like the whole love arc for Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick was pointless.
When are we just going to be like why wasn't the story just like he doesn't have a love? He's ruined every love he has, and his love is a fighter. being an asshole fighter jet pilot.
Yeah, his love was flying
Right.
and being the best at it. Like,
right.
I didn't understand. And then I'll do this as my honorable mention as well, and then I'll reveal my final choice. Hey, relax, Kane.
He's excited for your final choice.
Yeah. So the last honorable mention, Return of the King. It didn't ruin it, but it felt unnecessary. It's like how many times did you think that movie ended?
Oh,
when you were in theaters,
like 4 times, 5 times.
Yeah.
Bro, they fade to black. Why? Stop fading to black if you're gonna show more stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember physically being like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right. There's more.
I almost got up like 3 different times because I really had to pee at the end because it's like a 3.5 hour movie. And the black screen kept coming on, and then they would cut to another character, and I was just like, dude, what is happening right now? And so that's my honorable mention, but my final choice is Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
Oh, good. It said preach.
Bro, he is the quintessential Iron Man villain. And that's all I gotta say. I just that's it, dude. That's all I got, bro.
And also, who's the guy they had? Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, yeah,
would have been a great Mandarin.
We probably would look real bad in today's society, though. Should probably get an Asian Mandarin.
Probably. didn't they finally figure it out? Didn't they really get an Asian one? Did they finally?
Yeah, for the Shang-Chi films, right?
Well, I guess technically he's the Mandarin. I guess that's a good point.
It's a no.
No, it's just they like ventured so far away from the Mandarin character. I don't kind of associate the two together. The 10 rings are in the MCU, so I guess you guys are both correct. But I mean, I didn't dislike what they did in Shang-Chi. Like, if you're gonna change it, at least make it cool, and they made it cool. But yeah, that's not the Mandarin. You know what I mean? Like, that's not. They made it like the 10 rings is an organization, and yeah. But I guess technically he is the Mandarin.
I have a couple of honorable mentions. The Venom transformation scene in Spider-Man 3 is awful. It ruins the entire movie. Fat Thor in Avengers Endgame. Thor has literally seen everybody in his life killed, and he's just going to go fat now and give up. Like, nah, I don't believe it. That's probably the most controversial one. Jermaine mentioned it already. Kylo Ren just killing Snoke. Like, you establish this great villain, and then he just gets a lightsaber thrown to him that he doesn't see coming.
Yeah, you can thank Rian Johnson for that. He hates Star Wars and Star Wars fans, yet somehow got one of their trilogy movies, which doesn't make any sense.
Thanks, Rian Johnson. And then my final one is, in an awesome movie, at least what I thought was an awesome movie, X-Men First Class. There's a character.
Oh, that's on my list.
There's a character in it named Darwin, who is basically able to adapt to every situation, but just gets killed by Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, his entire mutant ability is based off Darwinism and survival of the fittest.
Right.
That presented with any situation, Darwin will adapt, overcome, and not be killed.
All right.
He is so freaking powerful that he interacts with Hela in the comics, and she touches him with her death touch, and he walks away. Now, skulls were left in his eyes, and there was more to the storyline later, and I mean, he didn't die, but that's how strong he is. The goddess of death could not kill Darwin.
Yeah. And he's killed by a little energy ball.
I could not believe that, dude. Yeah, that's actually on my list. It's actually 4th on my list. Darwin dying in X-Men First Class. That fucking movie, bro. They picked a whole B squad of X-Men characters. It was still a good movie, but that one scene really chapped my asshole, bro.
Also, now that I'm thinking about it, what's the one where they go to kill the Sentinels? They go to kill
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, they don't even address how they kill all the characters from X-Men First Class, like where they went. You just see pictures and they're like, they're dead now. Remember these characters that we established as villains? And they were the bad team to the good team? They're dead. Oops.
Yeah, dude. The X-Men movies
suck.
What?
Using this crutch of, okay, they don't suck, okay? When you think, I wonder if I'm going to address your point here, Jermaine. If I don't, please. The X-Men movies don't suck because you have to think of it in the X-Men universe. The X-Men universe has infinite timelines, and that's why it would be great to be a writer for the X-Men, because you'd be like, yeah, of course Deadpool had an ass for a face, because that's one timeline I created.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is the first and second X-Men movies were very, very good. Right? X-Men and X2, United We Stand, were actually good movies. And then they made X3 and then everything else after that. And it's arguably one of the worst franchises ever. But people keep showing up because it's the X-Men. You know, the X-Men were like the hottest selling comic in the 90s. You know, the X-Men were a huge deal in the 90s. And the Marvel sabotaged them. They pretty much stopped making X-Men comics for a while to drop Fox's IP value, so they didn't have more things to pull from. And then when they finally bought it back, they rebooted X-Men. They tried making Inhumans take the place of X-Men for a while.
That's low.
All right, I agree to list back. We're running a little long here.
All right, so I had the first pick. Top 5 moments in movies that killed a movie or were incredibly unnecessary. Jack's death in the Titanic. When the gentleman gets shot after taking his helmet off and saving Private Ryan. Jimmy's racist rant in Pulp Fiction, Whistler's death in Blade Trinity, and Randy's death in Scream 2. Nick had the second pick. Dr. Jones survives a nuclear explosion in a lead-lined fridge in one of the Indiana Jones ones. You said it was the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or whatever?
Yeah, Indiana Jones 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay. Will Smith's death in I Am Legend, the boat tunnel scene in Willy Wonka, Return of Palpatine, in Rise of Skywalker, and the kiss between Cap and Agent Carter in Captain America Civil War. Jermaine had Martha's death, or the Martha scene in Batman vs. Superman. Joseph Gordon-Levitt finds the Batcave in The Dark Knight Rises.
Stupid.
Princess Leia space flying, Star Wars The Last Jedi. A twofer for Jermaine here in the sewing of Deadpool's mouth and killing off X-Force in a simple plane crash in Deadpool 2 and X-Men Origins. And finally, the Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
I like my list. I think we had a lot of good choices on this one. Eric, can you pull up head-to-head real quick?
Yeah.
Dang, we are running a little late. We got really sucked into this topic.
I mean, we only have to bag ourselves to go. So
we started off pre-show saying this is a really tough topic, and then proceeded to spend.
That's how we always do it.
Proceeded to spend 40 minutes on Pop Culture Pick'em. All right, head-to-head.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
I can't see it. Yeah, we're seeing it.
All right, so just to run into this, last week was week 26. Tough week for a lot of us. Jermaine went 2-1, or I'm sorry, Jermaine went 1-2, bringing him to 29-43 on the season. He went with a all UFC card. Had some close ones. What was it? The Bo Nickel was a sub. That cost you your parlay, right? No, Moreno lost the fight too, huh?
Moreno lost. So I actually almost put Pantoja in it because I don't think Moreno is as good as Mexican fans say he is. I just really don't. I almost put Pantoja, but I gave the champ, and then it was a split decision, right? So it's an even tougher call. But the one that really stung was the Turner split decision with Hooker. Absolute bullshit. All right, that's enough of that.
All right. So for last week, Nick went 1-1-1, bringing him to 27-43-2 on the season. He did take a over/under at 9 even, which we recommend not doing. Always take the halves. He's had some luck on home run bets, but he missed the Kevin Kiermaier one.
Hold on. Hold on. When have you ever recommended taking an MLB totals on the Habs?
You always take on the Habs, dude.
Yeah.
What's a
Sport.
What's a
In any
standard?
sport.
On the Habs.
Yeah.
What's a standard MLB run line, Eric? Or not run line. What's a standard MLB total, Eric? Average.
I don't know, 4, 5.
Exactly. Keep going.
I mean, he's right. He's right, though.
Maybe we'll push.
All right.
All right. I
gotta say that Kevin Kiermaier one, that was juicy if it didn't get fucking postponed for a rain delay.
Yeah, he was feeling it. I went 1-2 last week. I actually took Hooker in that same fight as Turner. Kind of starting to start a new thing where I'm going to fade the podcast. So I'm 30-42 on the season, and then Nevada went 1-2 as well. Almost had his bets fucking revoked not revoked, but had to resubmit because of the lightning storm that almost postponed the hot dog eating competition. But we ended up seeing it. He missed all those bets, bringing him to 26-43-1 on the season.
I think that delay cost Nevada his bets.
Well, it honestly, I was watching it, and I was watching an interview about it, and I really think it did because the preparation that Joey Chestnut puts into it is like timed out, and it's like very strategic as to where right when he gets there to start the competition, it's all prime and ready to go. So I really do believe Nevada got jibbed on that one.
Guys, do you know what records Joey Chestnut holds?
All of them.
All of them?
But no, I'm saying like the ridiculousness of them.
No, but I'm very
Oh,
curious.
fuck. All right. I thought I had one. I looked it up on my phone. All right. So here, he has eaten 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes. 12 pounds, 8 ounces of deep-fried asparagus in 10 minutes.
12 pounds.
45 pulled pork sandwiches in 10 minutes.
Light work.
53 light work.
I'm just kidding, dude.
Can't even get 20 street tacos.
24. 53 soft.
No, he couldn't even get 20.
Right. 20. Jesus. 53 soft tacos from Taco Bell in 10 minutes. That's the only record I would even think to attempt.
I think I could probably get that one, dude.
You think you could get 53 in 10 minutes?
The soft tacos from Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Oh, in 10 minutes?
In 10 minutes.
I'm willing to try.
I could get 15.
You think we could break any of his records combined?
Oh, dude, the Taco Bell soft tacos, yes.
Hey, let's try it.
We each get a Taco Bell 12-pack, which is light work, right? You're done, dude. A Baja Blast and that, and dude, I can eat I can eat 15. Wow, that's a lot. Never mind. 76 hot dogs is the record.
I think he might beat us combined on that Taco Bell.
He has eaten, this is insane, 182 bone-in chicken wings in 30 minutes.
182?
Bone-in chicken wings in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Is it he does for a living?
Huh?
Do we know if he has any other type of job besides just eat shit and
I don't
break
think
records? So. Where the fuck?
Yeah,
was
as a fucking trash compactor, probably.
Where was this at career day? Because
as a biofusion reactor.
How do you discover that this is what you're good at?
Oh, by the way, we talked about Joey Chestnut eating 3-inch tacos. Eric, would you agree that those are street tacos?
Yeah, I'd say 3 inch.
Just think of your dick, bro.
Uh-huh.
Right, 3-inch tacos, right?
Yeah,
3-inch tacos, right? Guess how many Joey Chestnut has eaten in 8 minutes?
76.
3-inch tacos.
3-inch tacos, 8 minutes.
76.
No.
104.
3-inch tacos. I mean, they're not that big. I'm gonna go in 8 minutes. 3-inch tacos. So what is that like? That's got to be at least 13, 14 tacos a minute.
I'm thinking he can just put a whole taco in his mouth and just swallow. So it's got to be like a high number.
108.
126.
Oh man, I was right on there, dude. Oh,
121 Twinkies in 6 minutes. I mean, these are just 384 gyoza dumplings in 10 minutes.
Do you think his like insurance premiums are through the roof?
7.5 Pizza Hut Pizzones in 10 minutes.
Jesus.
Oh, 10 cups of ramen noodles in a 10 cups of ramen noodles in a minute and 50 seconds.
a minute 50 seconds, bro.
That's wild.
So my only claim
Are they hot?
My only claim to Joey Chestnut fame is I have chugged 6 beers, 7 shots in a minute 15 seconds.
Oh,
It was in a full yard. You know, I was yarding in, and I just tilted that bad boy, relaxed the throw, and just let that thick dick just hit the back. Just ah!
Oh, I don't like that. I thought you were more. I thought you got
Nah, dude.
I thought you crushed a sixer. Well, I mean, I guess you could pop them all open and do that one thing. And then you were just like, bonk, 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 7 shots. I was like, that. If I saw that in person, I'd be like, that's the most impressive man I've ever seen.
Yeah, so there is it's all skunked beer from the yard in before. Yeah. It's designed to make you puke it back up so that way you don't, get alcohol poisoning. But after I chugged that in a minute 15 seconds, I had to sprint to the end of the backyard, which was about it was like a 1/10 of a mile, maybe a little more. And then I had to do dizzy bats and then sprint back, dude. I got to the end and I just projectiled everywhere. Just hurled, bro.
So at NC State, they have this thing called the Krispy Kreme Challenge.
Oh, I'm in.
Which is you run 2.5 miles to a Krispy Kreme, eat a dozen donuts, and run 2.5 miles back. And the only thing you're given to drink is milk.
That sounds brutal, dude.
Room 303 presents the Krispy Kreme Challenge.
Yo, let's do it, bro. Let's go party at NC State for a weekend and do that challenge, bro.
Chris, let's see what it is.
Eric's not thrilled.
I thought Eric was gonna jump all over it.
No, I love the milk part is what gets me. I can't even.
Oh, it's about the 5 miles, Eric.
Eric, you don't have to drink the milk.
Oh, you don't have to?
No.
Oh.
The only drink you get is milk, though.
What if I have like my own Camel Pack and I'm like just drinking my own shit?
The only drink you get in the challenge.
The rules are pretty fucking clear. Eric.
Honestly, I couldn't do it because I would need something to drink because I'd be dehydrated from running that much because I don't ever run that much. I wouldn't be able to do it on milk, so I would die. I'd have a stroke.
Eric's arguing with the judges. Eric's like, come on, just let me have I'll take vodka. I'll take vodka.
So, Nick, have you ever heard of hash runs? Like a hash club? A hash club?
Yeah, that's where like you got to catch the rabbit runs ahead and he does the symbols, right?
Yeah, and you stop at each bar and drink a beer and you have to chase the rabbit.
Right. Yeah.
Let's do that, bro.
I'm down.
We're gonna get Eric to run way more than he's ever run in his life.
Well, see, okay, I wish I had a whiteboard here because I would draw a graph of what Eric would be. It would be awful. Then he would get a couple beers in him. Then it would be overly confident, and he'd really book it. And then it would just be like, it wouldn't even be a downward slope. It would just be a cliff of just Eric being like.
I'd have a stroke. I keep telling you guys this.
Because I'm not saying it's your fitness level. I'm saying, Eric, when you are drunk and doing exercises, you're like, oh, I could go forever. And then you go and you go and you go, and then eventually the body just runs out, and you're like,
well, I am Captain Confidence when I'm drunk, so I'm for sure. I could see Usain Bolt and be like, dude, give me 4 bears. I'll beat you in a 100-meter
You
dash.
almost fought a guy 3 blocks later.
You mean Nick on New Year's?
Still doesn't hurt me less. 2 years later, still doesn't hurt me less.
All right, let's get to MLB Midseason. Currently, it's the top of the 6th. The NL is tied with the AL 1-1. JD Martinez, I saw, had 2 hits. Stop me if you heard this before. Luis Reyes got a single and drove in a run.
He's pretty good at baseball.
Hey, we forgot to check in on it. We're supposed to check at the beginning of each podcast to see what his average is.
Well, the executive producer didn't put it on the
apologies. I caught it. Now
the call sheet. So
now we're backtracking.
All right.
So Luis Areza going into the All-Star break is hitting 383. Unfortunately,
what a loser!
A fucking loser.
383. What an absurd number.
Corey Seager is back up though. Corey Seager is back up to 353.
Oh, look. All right, so we'll bring Corey Seager back into the mix. He's at a respectable number now. Bro, if they could both stay over 350, that'd be so awesome.
Wait, how do you spell this cat's last name? A-R?
A-R-R-A-E-Z with some little flair over one of the letters. All right, so like Jermaine said, MLB Midsummer Review. I will highlight first the things that we have gotten right in win totals. All right. Are you guys ready for this? And when I say right, I mean within 3 wins at the halfway point.
This is going to be bad.
All right. It's not as bad as we thought. There are, we have 8 teams out of the 30 that we are within that 3 wins bracket. Okay. We said, so the Yankees, we said the Yankees would win 47. They've won 44. We said the Angels would win 43. I've proclaimed them to be in the playoffs. They've won 40. We said we said Detroit would win 32. They've won 35. And we've said that Seattle and Minnesota would win 40 and 39 respectively. They have won 41 and 40 respectively. We did not hit any of the win totals so far right on the nose. But that's the thing about win totals. It doesn't really matter. That's the AL. Moving into the NL, Pittsburgh, after a torrid start, has dropped off exactly where we thought they would. We thought that they would. We didn't factor in the start, though. So we thought that they would win 34 games. They've won 37. And then Philadelphia and the Washington Nationals. We thought Philadelphia would win 45 games. They've won 44. And we thought Washington would win 31 games. They've won 32. Now for our biggest misses. And I'm going to give you the 3 largest.
Can I guess?
You can guess, yes. I will give you top 5 in each league.
Top 5 in each league?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rays.
We missed the Rays by 9 wins. We thought they would win 42. They've won 51. This is at the halfway point, by the way.
Yeah, so was that one of them or no?
That was one of them, yes.
Okay,
wins one of them. Under the Rays.
Okay. Diamondbacks?
We were only 4 wins off the Diamondbacks. Remember I said the Diamondbacks could challenge.
Yeah, they feel so much better than what I thought.
They do feel better. They are currently, and we'll get into it here in a second, but they are currently the 4th seed in the NL.
Cincinnati Reds.
We missed by 13. We thought they would win. We thought they would win 32 games. They won 45. San Diego Padres. We missed by 15.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Our largest one.
We were high on them, and they let us down. Los Angeles Dodgers have kind of been underperforming.
We only missed the Dodgers by 4.
Okay.
Pirates?
Nope, Pirates we were right on. If you were listening, you would have heard me say that.
Sorry, I just stepped away to go to the restroom, so I'm just playing catch up. Which are the biggest ones that we missed?
Right. Well, he's guessing right now. Yeah. So I've said Rays. We missed the Rays by 9. I've said the Reds. We missed the Reds by 13. The Padres. We missed by 15.
15.
Oakland Athletics got to be in there. There's no way we anticipated them being this bad.
We missed the Oakland. We missed the Athletics by 9.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other surprises. Cardinals. Cardinals.
We missed the Cardinals by 11. Yes, there is one team left.
In NL or AL?
I will give you. I'll give you both. Yeah. So you're missing one in NL, and you're missing 3 in the AL.
3 in the AL.
Yeah. Think of my preseason darlings.
Oh, Chicago White Sox.
We missed the Chicago White Sox by 8.
Detroit Tigers?
No, we only missed the Detroit Tigers by 3, actually.
Okay. Are the Twins good or bad right now?
We nailed the Twins.
We nailed the Twins? Okay.
1 off.
Sorry, I stepped away, but did you guys mention the Rangers already? Did we all think they were going to be
yeah.
The Rangers are not one of the top 5, but we did miss them by 7.
Okay.
Wow, not one of the top 5, and we missed them by 7.
What about
Miami Marlins?
The Miami Marlins are the last one in the NL. We missed them by 6.
Okay.
Seattle.
Yankees?
The Yankees, we were 3 off.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna have the AL.
In the AL. I'll give you one more guess. I mean, obviously 2 more guesses if you get one of them.
Man, trying to think of that Central Division.
That's the right path.
Is it? No, because the Indians are good. Oh, sorry. Guardians are good. Did we miss the Guardians?
We missed the Guardians. We missed the Guardians by 8. The model had the Guardians performing well above where they are now. Because the model thought surely somebody would come out of the Central, right?
It has to be, dude.
And then the final one, just for the sake of time, the Houston Astros. We missed the Houston Astros by 9.
Are they 9 above or 9 below?
9 below.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty bad this year.
So with that being said, the current rankings, the AL East is the Rays, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, all above 500. We did not get. We got Boston being in last place. That's the one we got from our pre-show. The Central is the Guardians, the Twins, the Tigers, the White Sox, and the Royals. We hit the bread slices of the Central, if you will. We had Cleveland winning, and we had the Royals finishing last. The West is Rangers, which is a very big shock. The Astros, absolutely, the Mariners, the Angels, and the Athletics. We are nailing these bottom teams. We nailed the Athletics, and funny enough, we nailed Seattle being in 3rd. The NL East, the Braves, the Marlins, the Phillies, the Mets, and the Nationals. We nailed, again, 3 and 5, the Phillies and the Nats so far, or we have nailed so far at the break. The Central, again, a shock. The Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. We nailed Pittsburgh. And if somehow Seattle and St. Louis and Milwaukee and Chicago were be able to flip, that we would nail the exact lineup, of course. The West is the Dodgers and Diamondbacks tied for the lead. The Giants, the Padres, and then the Rockies. We nailed the Rockies. So for the playoffs, we had, and this is going seeds 1 through 6, Houston winning the West, Toronto winning the East, the Guardians winning the Central, and then the 3 wild cards being the Yankees, the Angels, and the Orioles.
Hey, that Orioles call, baby.
That seeding right now is Rangers are leading the West, the Rays are winning the East, the Guardians are winning the Central jackpot, and the wild card teams is Baltimore, Houston, and Toronto. So technically, if you look at it, we have hit 3 of the 6 teams that are in.
Okay.
In terms of games back from the wild card, the Yankees are not too far out. They are 1 game back. Boston Red Sox are 2 games back. Seattle is the only other team in the NL above, or in the AL above 500. They're 4 games back. And the Twins and Angels are both 5 games back of that final wild card spot for the Toronto Blue Jays. In the NL, we had the Padres, the Mets, the Cardinals. Sorry, the Padres winning the West, the Mets winning the East, the Cardinals winning the Central, and then wild card 1 through 3, the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. Right now, as it stands, the Dodgers on head-to-head games are leading the West. The Braves are winning the East. The Reds are winning the Central. And it goes Diamondbacks, Marlins, Giants in the wild card. Milwaukee and Philadelphia are a half game back of the Giants. The Padres are 6 games back. The Cubbies are 6.5 back. And your Mets are 7 games back. So I'll ask both of you. I'll ask you to give me your biggest disappointment and your biggest surprise at the All-Star break. This can be anything you want in the world of baseball. It doesn't have to be players. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't just have to be teams. It can be anything from the first half of the 2023 MLB season. Biggest disappointment, biggest surprise. Eric, we'll start with you. All right, Jermaine, to you.
No, it's because what you said for the NL?
No, just one surprise, one disappointment
from the season in general.
I don't want to steal this from Jermaine, but it is honestly the biggest disappointment. I've been to a couple of the games, and I don't even think I've seen them win this year. It's the Padres. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, all this star power, all these contracts, all this talk of we're gonna finally beat LA, and then fucking all this happens.
The hashtag they're rocking this season is bring the gold. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and hop in here, and my biggest surprise is similar to what Eric is talking about, but it is my surprise is more broad. It is teams with immense payrolls underperforming. Right? The teams that made big-time moves, shelled out a ton of money, had just names top to bottom on the roster, they're not doing what you expected them to do. Now, is it because the Mets handed out $80 million to 2 almost 40-year-old pitchers? Maybe. Is it because of the pitch clock and some of these rule changes and the getting rid of the shift and things like that? Maybe. Is it because they opened up the season to where you play every team now? Probably contributes. But what also contributes to winning is paying great players. And these teams did that, and it's not resulting in winning. So that's my biggest surprise. So I'll just sandwich that in with Eric. And Eric, you can give us your disappointment now.
My disappointment is I'm going to go ahead and just say the Phillies, because I just started rooting for them this year. They were just in the World Series. They got this talented roster, and they ain't doing shit. That's the easiest pick for me. Plus, I don't watch that much baseball, so I'm going to stick with what I know.
My biggest disappointment is with getting rid of the shift, with increasing the speed at which pitches are gone. I expected batting averages to return to a more normal level that I kind of grew up with. And instead, we're seeing more of the same. And in fact, some of these great players are even worse, average-wise. I'm sick of people always hitting for just swinging for home runs, because that's not how you win baseball games. And that's not how you win in the postseason. So I don't understand why we're not getting back to it. That's why we're so hype on Luis Reyes. Even though I was told, yeah, but he only hits singles. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's not important in fucking baseball. So that's my biggest disappointment there.
All right. My biggest disappointment. You know what? I'm going to say my biggest disappointment has kind of been the pitch clock. Not in the way that people are like, oh, he's an old head baseball fan. My biggest disappointment is the status quo continues, right? Like, I thought we'd see a lot more hitters affected. I thought we'd see a lot more pitchers affected. I have been to multiple baseball games this year. The viewing of baseball has not improved for me. Maybe somebody that has not gone to a baseball game in years now goes, wow, a baseball game is faster. I do agree the games are faster. I have not seen like, oh my God, this has completely changed the game. So that's been kind of my disappointment, is that baseball is kind of old and stuffy a little bit. Right? You look at the hall, and I welcome a change just to see how it would do. And the pitch clock hasn't really, it's just been everything that is baseball, right? It's just continues to be old and stuffy. My biggest surprise is maybe it was my fault for not paying attention as much, but there are some very, very good young players in the MLB. And as a baseball fan, it makes me feel incredibly proud that baseball does not have a lack of star power in the younger generation. And it makes me feel good that baseball will continuously refresh itself, especially as you explore more into Latin markets, especially as you explore more into Asian markets, as you explore more into European markets that are opening up now, and African markets and Indian markets, right, with baseball. It is just very refreshing to see the game that I love and the game that I've played and the game that I followed for 3 decades at this point constantly refresh itself with young, entertaining talent. Now, they don't market them very well, but that's because they haven't given me a job in MLB baseball.
See last week's episode about the marketing.
Right.
No, I think that's a fantastic point. I love all the juniors coming in. You know, all the juniors of the fathers, the generational baseball families are coming in. And so I think it's great.
I think baseball is that one sport where you have a fantastic father. He can truly pass on his skills to you, and just you being around that environment, like Michael Jordan's son, or you know, I think Del Curry wasn't an all-time great. At least I don't think he was.
He wasn't.
Right?
He was a good basketball player, though.
But it's funny that how in baseball, when you see these kids in the locker room, in the cage, around these MLB talents, right? They turn into these MLB talents. I mean, you guys talked about the rosters for the All-Star game, right? Fernando Tatis Jr., right? Luis Robert Jr., Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette Jr., right? So many good young players are coming in whose fathers were great baseball players. I feel like you don't see that in every other sport. But again, that speaks back, thank you, Jermaine, to my last point, which is baseball will continuously refresh it with, hey, last night, Vlad Guerrero Jr. just won the home run derby. And one of the cool things to talk about is he has now tied his dad for the home run derby. You can go, that gets people to be like, oh, like the older generation to be like, oh, his dad. Like, it kind of sparks a little bit of a debate between the older generation and the newer generation, which is awesome because it's like, oh, yeah, I don't care if he's won a home run derby. The original Vlad was better, right? I think the original Vlad was better, right? Fuck Vladdy Jr., right? Fat piece of shit. His dad was better.
Now it's an argument.
Right now it's an argument, right? And that's what people are talking about baseball. I'm very, very. Baseball sucks at a management level. At a corporate level, baseball sucks. Baseball does not suck as a sport right now, and it makes me very, very happy.
I agree with that. All right, so that wraps our surprises and disappointments. We're going to do something with Eric here with the speed futures. And Eric, you have your spreadsheet or whatever you're tracking it down with?
Yep. And we can just go really quickly. I'm going to share the screen here. You guys can see the odds, and I just want you guys – yes, this is just to make the playoffs for the MLB. We're halfway through the season. I'm going to give you the name of the team, the odds, and you just tell me yes or no if they make it or not, all right?
Okay.
All right, Mets. Yes.
No.
Plus 3. All right.
No.
Oh, sorry. You don't have to give us the odds. We can see it on the screen.
All right, Mets,
No.
No.
Rays,
Yeah.
Yes.
Reds,
No.
Really?
No.
I think the Cubs sell. Yeah, I'm gonna go no.
no, okay. White Sox,
No.
No.
Orioles,
Yeah,
Yes.
baby.
Padres,
Yes.
Oh man. No.
all right,
I'm going
Rangers.
yes at plus 300. Rangers is yes.
Yes.
Diamondbacks,
Yes. Yeah, there's no way Miami is okay, we'll get into it. Yeah. Yes, Diamondbacks.
Oh man, the Diamondbacks really?
I say yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go no.
all right, Tigers,
No.
No.
Red Sox,
No.
No.
Brewers,
Yes.
Ah!
They win the division.
Yes! God
They-
damn it.
Mariners,
No.
Cardinals,
No.
Twins,
Yeah, no.
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 both no. All right, Dodgers,
Yes.
Come on.
Yankees,
Yes.
No.
no. Okay, Pirates,
No. No.
Cubs,
No. Unfortunately, no.
If I could answer this closer to the end of July, I could tell you for sure. There's 10 games coming up. That's
All right.
super important.
We're going to ask Jermaine on July 30th whether the Cubs are making the playoffs.
I am staying at this moment, Eric.
all right, staying. San Francisco Giants,
No, right?
I think that's the answer I want to go with, but I think it's yes.
I didn't think they were going to be good, so I'm going to say no.
I'll go no. I'll go no because I think the Phillies are going to get hot.
all right, Blue Jays,
Yes.
Yes.
Angels,
No.
Yes.
You don't even believe it.
Yes. Yes.
I don't even believe it.
Yes. Marlins. Yes, actually.
I do think the Marlins make it. Yeah.
And we continue to do this stupid storyline of how can the Marlins be good? Alcantara isn't good. He won a Cy Young. He's the only pitcher they have.
Stros,
Yes.
I think the Stros turn it around. Yeah.
Phillies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and lastly the Guardians.
That's a plus for the Guardians.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd bet that right now at plus 125.
Yes. There's
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not logged in.
Talk, I thought you were putting it in live.
I thought you were putting it in to see what plus 125 got.
No.
I was like, Eric? Wait, hold on. Can you go see the AL Central, the rankings?
Like the standings?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
The Guardians are the only team even remotely close to 500, I thought.
No, the Twins are one game under 500. So the Guardians are 500, and the Twins have one more loss than them.
Yeah, so Cleveland or Guardians 45-45, Twins 45-46, Tigers 39-50, and then the White Sox.
And what's it for the Twins to make the playoffs?
Twins was
I think it's
let me
plus
go.
plus. I think they were minus money.
145.
They were minus, yeah.
No. That's two I'd make right now.
Cleveland has a -7 run differential, and Minnesota has a +27. They're the only one with a positive run differential in that division.
And still a game below 500.
Yeah, they're on a 3-game losing streak. They're on a 3-game losing streak. I think the Indians. I keep calling them the Indians. I think the Guardians are gonna win it. I just think they're the best run organization in that division.
They will probably make a move for someone. Here's the thing. Baltimore has been far too good now for you can say a year and a half. I will say they have been good for a half of 2022 and a half of 2023 to prove that they're not going to drop off. They have an amazing roster right now.
I think so.
And young. Baltimore's in. To think that the Astros aren't going to win the AL West is ridiculous. Right?
The
Now,
Rangers are good though.
yeah, I don't know how.
It's years of signing pretty big players, though, man.
I mean,
is it Simeon's on the squad, right?
I get why the Rangers are good. They were the same reason I said I thought they were gonna be good last year, right? Garcia, Simeon, Corey Seager, like they have the guys designed to compete. Dale Dunning is good; he's a pitcher. I think it's gonna come down to this: the Rays will win the East, the Guardians will win the Central, Baltimore and Toronto suck up two of the wild cards. So now the question is, does Houston win the West? I think they do, right? If the Astros win the West, Texas, New York, Boston, Seattle, Minnesota. All those teams are within 5 games of the wild card right now.
The trade deadline is going to be crazy this year, dude. I mean, I don't know what to expect. Do you think Goldschmidt gets moved?
I think the Cardinals are in a very, very interesting position with a lot of very, very interesting players. That's the political answer I'm going to give you.
That was horseshit. All right, let's wrap up this podcast.
Hold on. I think the Dodgers win the West. I think the Braves win the East. I think Milwaukee wins the Central, as disgusting as that is to say. I think Miami, I think Philadelphia, and I think it comes down to the Diamondbacks and the Giants for that final wildcard spot.
It's going to be the Giants, isn't it?
And how long have we gone betting against the Giants?
Bro, that's all we do. That's all we do. I fade the Giants as much as possible because I always look at their roster and I'm like, eh.
Now I know that the Padres are 6 games back and the Mets are 7 games back.
Padres aren't going to make it, huh?
I don't know, but both those teams have way too much talent. And if they catch hot, here's the thing. Right, right now it is Dodgers, Braves, Reds, Diamondbacks, Miami, Giants. What if I told you that the Reds, the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, and the Giants all go cold? You wouldn't be like, whoa.
Wouldn't even be like, oh.
And the wild card teams are Milwaukee, Philadelphia, the Padres, and the Mets.
They could easily.
What if I told you those teams get hot?
I think the Mets are cooked.
I think the Mets are cooked as well, but it wouldn't be a crazy scenario in which baseball gives us at the All-Star break. And think about how Bleacher Report has been talking about it, right? Oh, this is crazy. This futures bet was plus 4,200, right? Dodgers, Braves, Reds, Diamondbacks, Marlins, Giants. Oh my God. I'm excited, right? I'm excited for that. Wouldn't it just be fucking baseball to go? Dodgers, Braves, Giants, Brewers, Padres. Mets. Fuck you.
It would be the most baseball thing ever, dog. No, dude, and this season's actually been pretty exciting. I've actually paid attention in the July month.
Which is a mere, by the way, folks, this is how good baseball is now. This is how many good games we've seen and how many great young players we have in our game. Is Jermaine is watching a month before the All-Star break. He's texting me about baseball teams. Wow. Glory be to God. What a great year.
I think that I owe it all to the pitch clock, dog. I think it's made baseball awesome.
Because you've been to games. And games are fun to watch now. When you go to a baseball game, they're fun to watch.
So I always love going to baseball games. I will say that going to in-person baseball games is a fantastic experience. I think it's one of the best sporting events to go to, right?
But sometimes it was a slog.
Oh, bro, it was brutal. And then you'd be way too drunk you didn't care. You didn't care anymore. But on television now, baseball is good to watch on television because of the pitch clock. And that's where I see the difference. Now I'm willing to turn on a ball game because I know I'm going to get through outs. I'm going to get through players. I'm going to see pitchers. So, that's how it goes. But I will say the Padres, they finished 5 wins in their last 6 games before the All-Star break. And I've been to like 6 or 7 games this year, and that team I saw on Sunday before the All-Star festivities was not the team I had seen the 3 months prior. So that's why what Nick is saying is so funny, because it could very well be fucking chalk.
I mean, like, here's the thing, guys. Bet it now, right? The NL is full of blue bloods and young upstarts who haven't made it yet. That's the great thing about baseball is if this were the NFL, I would completely believe the halfway mark that these teams were real. Baseball is a slog.
It's totally different too. And the trade deadline is coming.
Right. And you still have to play another 81 games.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, that's cute. You did real well for now.
Cute.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're at 90 minutes. It's far longer than we usually go. You guys got anything else?
Nothing for me.
All right, so thank you for joining us. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room 303. Also, check out our sister podcast, Revenge of the Pod, featuring Luigi and Jason, and they bring on guests all the time. I don't know their ats because theirs is a little unique for them, but look up Revenge of the Pod and all your streaming platforms, and you'll be sure to find them. For myself, Jermaine, for my co-host Nick, and for our executive producer Eric, we'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.